Waiting on Jordan. Go with the theme song.
No commercials today.
No commercials?
All commercialed out.
Robbie Coltrane died today.
Yes.
I don't know who that is.
Hagrid.
From Harry
Oh,
Potter.
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well he was kind of old.
He was like 74.
Yeah.
Which is pretty old, but like...
But like still young.
It's you can if you take care of yourself, you can be fine throughout your 70s. I don't think he was taking care of himself.
He was British in the 60s, 70s, so like...
What's this
Probably
guy?
smoked a pack a day.
What's his name?
Robbie Coltrane.
Robbie Goldtrain or
Cole.
No.
What a cool name.
How many Harry
Pretty
Potter
badass
people have died so far? The original Dumbledore, right?
There's a
Yes.
bee in here. Or there's a big ass bug on the light.
Because didn't they change Dumbledore after the first movie?
Second movie.
Oh, he's the second.
Ew.
I'm gonna kill this bug.
Kill it.
That's not a bee. It's a stink bug.
Well,
He's
It
stinking.
looks too big for a stink bug. Oh my god! Oh my god! Jesus fuck!
He just curb stomped it.
He did. Holy shit!
It deserved it.
Well, be glad that it wasn't a stink bug, because that would have really smelled up the apartment.
I don't
I'm
think
not fucking
they
afraid.
smell bad.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually do smell bad, but I think they when you kill them, it attracts more of them or something like that. Or is that just a myth?
That sounds kind of messed up. They're just in
It'd be
There's
like,
gonna be a war of them.
we
Death.
smell one of our dead brethren. Let's go.
Usually they leave. Usually things leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're a warring bug.
Are they actually called stink bugs, or do they have an actual name?
I'm sure they have an actual name.
Look it up. Look it up.
I think it is a stink bug. You don't smell that?
Not really.
That was a really big bug to be a stink bug.
It was pretty big.
Stink bugs are pretty big.
It took a couple hits with the hat and a smush to get it down.
What did it look like?
It looked like a stink bug.
Apparently.
I'm trying to find out how this guy
No,
died.
it didn't look like this.
It was that
It kinda did
shape-ish.
look like.
Let me see it.
It had like really big legs.
Oh,
from
that's not
where
a
I was
stink
sitting.
bug.
That's stink bugs. Yeah, they are.
Oh, there's different kinds then. 'cause
Oh.
that's
Some
not
discourse.
That's not what I've seen.
Robbie Coltrane died today.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's unfortunate. Because he seemed like a kind of a cool guy.
He did.
The Harry Potter special just came out
Mm-hmm.
this year, where he talked about how he was gonna be dead, and then like kids would still get to experience Hagrid. So that was a little.
That came true.
A little rough.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. And to immediately get off that note,
Says he was in ill health for 2 years. So he must have
maybe
known he
that's-
was gonna
Maybe
die.
that's why he brought it up.
maybe.
And he's like, when I die, which is very soon because I'm very ill. Well, it's a little
Yeah.
sad.
It's not as cool as what like Bowie did though.
What
No.
did Bowie do?
He knew he was gonna die and he wrote a bunch of creepy music about death. And then he died and the album came out. And there's all these like weird pages. I don't know if it was like on Reddit or something, but it was called like the Villa Armin, which is like one of his songs. Which is about like death and resurrection of like a star, the Black Star.
Huh.
And you never seen that music video?
Don't listen to
Never seen
David
that.
Bowie.
Oh, you gotta.
Oh yeah, you gotta listen to David Bowie.
I don't have
You don't
to.
like David Bowie?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said I don't
It's
listen
awesome,
to
though.
it.
I love David Bowie.
It's
David
fine.
Bowie's awesome.
Yeah, and he's still
Seemed
alive.
like a cool guy.
He's not dead. He's just was resurrected as some new star that's going to be born.
Do you think that he?
That's what I believe.
Do you think he took the place of Paul when Paul McCartney died?
No, Paul never died. He was just they just
he
saw him
died.
in a walrus costume and
died.
thought him and he died.
No, he died.
Isn't that because of the Magical Mystery Tour? They were like, he's a
No, I
walrus.
watched this
And then they're like, he didn't have
whole-
shoes on.
No, I watched this whole video about it, and it was this whole.
Send it to me.
Dude, it was like half an hour long. I know all
I'm
about
not
it.
watching that.
I'm indoctrinated.
Just tell me about it.
Here's what happened.
10 minutes maybe.
A bunch of crazy people.
Yeah, no shit. So
bunch
their whole
of-
fan base.
Yeah.
Basically, one dude was like, some fucking college kid was like, fuck, I gotta do a review of this for this new album for the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
It's so boring though. So what he did was he basically made a bunch of shit up. And he's like,
As you would.
if you listen to this song backwards, you can hear
Paul is dead.
Paul is dead or I killed Paul or whatever the fuck.
Mm.
and then all this shit happens, and Paul McCartney was like, fuck off, like, leave me alone. So the news was like, we haven't gotten a confirmation, we're gonna run with the story. So then it just spreads like wildfire. And then all these albums,
just
like,
that he's dead or that he got replaced by someone,
right? Because they're like, Paul died in this car crash,
right?
and the British government was like, oh my god, Paul McCartney died. Once everybody knows about this, they're all going to commit suicide,
Right, like they did when the Queen died.
so we just
And every other British person who was famous.
we have to pretend like Paul McCartney's not dead. So they did a Paul McCartney lookalike contest, and one dude won. I forget what the guy's name
And he
was.
happened to have the talent as well.
So they gave him some minor plastic surgery in 1966,
Right.
and
They gave him those big ass women's eyebrows that Paul McCartney had.
and then they taught him how to play the guitar.
Did you ever see this interview of this guy who was, on a side note, did you ever see, you probably watched this, I don't know, it was like one of their like producers way early on, would stay away from Paul McCartney because he thought he plucked his eyebrows and thought he was like, thought Paul was like a drag queen or something. He was like, I wouldn't care about that nowadays, but back then I was like, man, stay away from Paul. Because he's got the fucking super feminine. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
So then they held this contest, and one guy won. They gave him some plastic surgery, and then they taught him how to play the guitar, and presumably how to write at left-handed, but also upside down right-handed.
Okay.
Because Paul McCartney can do that too.
Okay.
All right.
Play the drums, basically like
every single
piano,
instrument.
Yeah. Most of the instruments. They taught him how to write songs, like Paul McCartney.
Like Paul McCartney would, because they didn't need Paul McCartney to write these songs.
Right.
They could do it themselves.
Right, but he has a long career after the Beatles. So
Right.
he picked some stuff up. You know,
Right.
working with John Lennon. So then the Beatles felt bad.
Okay.
The three Beatles.
Right.
They felt bad about this. So what they did was they left all these clues in their albums.
Is Yoko involved in this in any way?
Yes, but no.
Okay.
I'll get to that.
Okay, good.
So all these things like the Abbey Road, he's not wearing shoes and all this stuff. Him having the only black flower in some production they did on TV. And all this crazy shit. Like if you look at the guitar on Sgt. Pepper's, it's shaped like the flowers on the bottom. It's shaped like a guitar, and it spells out Paul. If you look at it right, and
I don't think it does.
If you put a mirror up to the drum on the thing, like the Lonely Hearts Club Band, if you put a mirror up to that so it's split, it spells out like 11, and then it spells out 1, and then it has the number 1, and then the the 1 in the X for the 9th. It's like, oh, it's November 9th, that's when he died. And all this shit.
Where? Okay, I can see the guitar.
That says Paul.
The guitar says Paul.
The guitar says Paul.
That guy is, if he's not on drugs, he's a fucking idiot. Let me zoom in.
And then
zoom in and enhance.
How does that say Paul?
It says Paul.
I don't see it.
No, it doesn't.
I don't see
When
it.
they put the MS Paint red trail over it, it says Paul.
It looks a little bit like a guitar. I can see that.
No.
And then there's all this stuff like in Sgt. Pepper, you can see there's one of the cardboard cutouts has the hand over Paul's head, and that signifies death and all this stuff.
No, he doesn't. He's holding his chest.
No, there's the cardboard cutout behind him.
Directly behind him.
Is holding a hand over his head.
Isn't that Aleister Crowley?
I don't know.
Aleister Crowley's in here somewhere.
There's I was watching this video, and the guy's like, okay, so let's explain what actually happened. He's like, so the date that everybody keeps talking about, November 9th, Paul McCartney was on vacation. He wasn't even in Britain. And then they're like, it doesn't even make sense if you look at it like how the British write their dates.
Oh my
It's 9/11, which is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all these things, like you look at alternate shoots of Sgt. Pepper's, and it's like they're all in different places and stuff because they're just like doing a bunch of different things. For Abbey Road, his feet got hot, so he took off his sandals. Like everything, every single thing, the black flower, they just ran out of red flowers. Every single thing that people have pointed to, it just doesn't work at all.
Yeah, you think?
But I subscribe to it. I think it's real.
This is a very cool album cover.
Sgt. Pepper?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that album.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good album.
It's good.
Arguably their best. Arguably.
What they got in here?
I would disagree, but some people would disagree with that.
Yeah, well, can
hold
that guy
on,
like
hold on,
identify
let's
every single person on this?
I don't know if that the person in the video can, but maybe.
Aleister Crowley's in here somewhere.
Is he in the top left, maybe?
Top left.
I like their album Beatles for Sale.
Beatles for Sale? That's one of their American ones?
Oh yeah, he is in the top left.
Yeah, nailed it.
Next to a
that's like one of their compilation ones.
It's their 4th studio album, released December 4th, 1964.
What do you got? You got Rubber Soul, Revolver.
But they
Yellow
did like
Submarine.
weird. Capitol Records in America did some weird shit where they like cut off songs and stuff for the American releases, and then they did like their own compilations for American releases.
This was through EMI. So this has like so this has like 8 days a week and No Reply. Like that's the album Beatles for Sale.
Yeah.
I like that album. It's one of my faves.
Well, they did Sgt. Pepper's because they didn't want to. John Lennon was like, we don't have to be the Beatles all the time.
That was Paul McCartney.
No, I think it was John
It's
Lennon.
Paul McCartney.
No.
I assure you it was Paul McCartney.
No.
Jordan's gonna look it up. He's gonna say,
No, I'm not gonna look it up. I don't. What would I even type
You
in?
know, that's something
It's
like,
interesting
I
because
feel
Paul
like we have
McCartney's death, allegedly.
What did the walrus have to do with it?
That was one of the clues, is that John said the walrus is Paul, but clearly the walrus wasn't Paul, so it was a clue like Paul's dead, I guess.
The walrus was Paul.
There's another one where it's like at the end of one of their songs, you can sort of hear somebody say something along the lines of like something dead, or Paul is something dead. But if you listen to another outtake of it, it's just John Lennon going cranberry sauce.
Oh my god!
But it got all muddled up in the edit.
It's funny how they could even have like the Beatles got weird with their shit.
Yeah, they did.
Like Yellow Magical Mystery Tour.
Have you seen
the Magical Mystery Tour?
What's the
It's coming
album?
to take you away.
Is it Yesterday?
I don't know.
Well, there's the album where they were all covered in like the baby dolls in the meat.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Look
an
up
album.
the Beatles baby doll meat album.
What's the name of it?
I don't remember.
That's what he's trying to know the name. So you
Hold
look
on.
up
Let me
the
just look up their
Beatles.
discography real quick.
Because there's
Baby
it's the one that they changed it to because they had to change it was them like Paul McCartney sitting in a suitcase. That was another one, whereas Paul McCartney sitting in a suitcase and all the other Beatles are standing around them.
Because he's dead.
And they said, "Oh, it looks totally normal," but if you turn it on the side, boom, Paul McCartney's in a casket.
All right. Please Please Me, With the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale, Help, Rubber
Yesterday
Soul.
and Today.
Yesterday
That's
and
the
Today.
album we were thinking of.
Look
Go
up
on.
Yesterday and Today original album.
Yesterday.
Cover.
That's not one of their albums. Yesterday. What?
This one.
Oh, that's like a compilation.
Probably. They got in some pretty hot water for
Drive
that.
my car. I'm only
Baby,
sleeping.
you can drive my car.
They got some bangers.
Oh. They had
Oh.
increased public interest in psychedelic drugs. What is it? Wow. Oh, the White Album. Yeah. So
That's
what they
the
got?
Beatles for you.
Oh yeah. Do you think they were on drugs?
Hell
No.
yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh.
No.
Not in the beginning?
Yellow Submarine? No.
So what did Yoko have to do with Paul's death?
It turns out that November 9th was the day John Lennon met Yoko. So even though that date has nothing to do with anything,
It got
'cause it's
thrown
just
in there.
completely random,
Mhm.
it actually ended up having like I think the point of that inclusion in the video was to say like if you look hard enough you'll find a coincidence for everything.
Yeah.
Who do we get left? Just Paul and Ringo?
Yeah, because John Lennon got capped,
Oh yeah.
and then,
I stood in the place where he died.
Yeah, was it in 1981?
No, 1980.
Was it about 6 inches behind it?
James
No,
got that
I
question
wasn't
wrong on
alive.
trivia.
I did not get that question wrong.
What-
The question
what
was,
year?
what was the building?
It was Strawberry Fields.
No,
the question was, what was the
of.
building called?
What was the
that
name
he
of
was
the building?
that he was outside of?
And I said, I'm pretty sure it was his apartment building.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
And then they listed a bunch of weird. It was like
the name. It was the
Give
Dakota.
me the list.
It was
the Dakota.
I'm pretty sure that was the name of the apartment building. It was like that, or it was like the Guggenheim, and you're like, oh, like the Guggenheim. That just sounds.
That's the museum.
I said
it was something like that.
There were 4 options, and one of them was like the Empire State Building or something. I was like, well, it's obviously not that.
One of them sounded like really.
And one of them was just weird sounding. I was like, that sounds like a place John Lennon would hang out.
One sounded very European, so like James was like, that sounds like some place John Lennon would live in, which was probably pretty accurate. But I'm pretty sure
weird guy
apartment that he lived outside of was called the Dakota.
In Strawberry Fields.
He lived outside of the building. He actually didn't live in the building.
Yes.
The Dakota.
It was? Was it actually that?
The Dakota.
Oh, shit.
1 West 72nd Street.
I still remember that. And that was like
well, you remember it because it's one of the rare times I've been wrong.
You've been wrong.
So it stands out.
Built in 1880.
That and what are Saturn's rings mostly made of?
I disagree with that.
And,
dust mites. So
that's what James said, and that was one of the options.
Because that's the correct answer.
Because that is the correct answer. But our little guy who runs trivia kind of almost Googles the answers, and whatever the top answer on Google is right. So if you search up what are Saturn's rings mostly made of on Google, it will say ice.
It's bullshit.
It's actually mostly dust.
And I will point out that none of the sources that say ice are NASA.
Yes, NASA actually does not really say what it's mostly made of.
Because they're fucking cowards.
It says like what? Dust, minerals, rocks, and ice.
There's definitely ice in them, but ice won't last that long.
They are made of, Saturn's rings are thought to be pieces of comets, asteroids, or shattered moons that broke up before they reached the planet.
Yeah.
Torn apart by Saturn's powerful gravity. They are made of billions of small chunks of ice and rock, coated with other materials such as dust.
So technically, if it's mostly made out of ice, but all of the ice is coated in dust, it's mostly made out of dust, isn't it?
No, there's the cube square law.
And that is from NASA.gov.
Yeah, but it doesn't say mostly made of anything.
Billions of small chunks of ice
and rock. But
they are made of billions of small chunks of ice and rock.
But I was supposed to say, but the issue also is, I think it was like mineral. The responses were like mineral, dust, ice, or rock. So like if even NASA said it's mostly ice and rock, which one was it? The guy picked ice. I think we argued a little bit.
I think that we should also discuss why there wasn't a podcast last week. Before we get too far in here. So I got so irate that you two had the audacity to disagree with me on religion. Or whatever we were talking about.
It wasn't religion. It was psychics.
No, it was psychics.
So I refused to have a podcast last week. And then Shaquille O'Neal called me and he said, we should do another podcast. And I said, okay, Shaq. And that's what happened.
Is that really what happened?
So what happened is Jordan got COVID.
Yeah.
And Ashley's fucking dying.
That's right.
And I was too lazy to do a podcast.
And then you told me to download Discord, which I did.
And you did.
And then I deleted it.
Oh.
We were going to do it. And then Ashley had plans.
And then you planned it for Saturday and you never got back to me.
Correct, because Ashley couldn't do it.
Right, but you could also just told me.
Because we were also going to start the podcast at like 8:45 at night.
No.
It was. I left your place at 8.
About?
Yeah, last week it was 8:30 when we were discussing starting the podcast, and because I remember I had
already
to,
given up at that point.
You said you didn't want to, and
yeah.
then James said we can do it Saturday.
Yeah, and then
I thought we could,
and then I ended up being too busy.
Yeah. So in the end, it's all Ashley's fault. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
So Saturn. John Lennon.
Saturn shot John Lennon.
Saturn shot John Lennon.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is John Lennon conspiracies are more believable than the Paul McCartney stuff.
Yeah, John Lennon was kind of a weird guy.
Like the Georgia Guidestones. He's totally connected to that. Don't tell me he's not.
Yeah, it seems like something he would do.
Like Yoko was like, oh, it's tragic.
Is that what she sounds like?
Oh, it's tragic.
Wait.
I don't know how Yoko talks. I've only ever heard her going.
I love her cover of Firework. It's great.
The guy.
She doesn't
even sing at all.
The guy who shot John Lennon was Mark David Chapman, right?
Yes.
It's weird that I remember his middle name.
And he did it. Like he didn't do it to impress Jodie Foster. That was the guy who shot Reagan.
That was the guy who shot Reagan.
I still think that Jodie Foster was involved in that somehow.
No.
I don't know where I'm getting that from.
He read Catcher in the Rye, which is and then
shit book.
And then he somehow wanted to kill John Lennon from reading Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, he was. I don't know what his deal was.
Probably kind of mentally ill.
Oh, you think?
Because it was just a book.
Well, he was a fan of John Lennon, though. Like, he got him to sign the album, before he shot him.
There you go.
Damp.
Yeah.
I'm not signing anything.
He was, actually,
never
he was actually, a fan of John Lennon. I don't know, what happened. I know I think he was part of some,
let's see.
some sort of, church that, traveled around. Because one of the conspiracy theories is that he was, trained to
he was
kill.
An assassin?
Yeah. And
nice.
Because I talked to a guy who was totally believing this, and I was just shooting holes in it. I was like, no, that's the dumbest thing ever. They thought he was in Hawaii getting trained to kill John Lennon,
obviously.
And he was like, he didn't have a job or anything, how could he be in Hawaii? It's I'm reading, it was he's part of this religious group that traveled, so
Shocker.
He was
somebody probably paid for his ticket.
Yeah. How could he end up in Hawaii? And first of all, why would you have to go to Hawaii to learn how to kill John Lennon?
Jordan, you don't understand. In Hawaii, they don't have any fast food restaurants.
Really?
Yeah, I think they have one KFC.
Is it the fast food that's keeping everyone sane, mellowed out?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so he was off the fast food long enough for them to be like, here's the truth. John Lennon needs to go.
You don't have fast food stopping you. You can do anything.
The FBI actually did word investigating John Lennon.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So that just adds
because he's kind of a weird guy.
Yeah. Well, he's also starting a big movement.
Anti-government stuff.
Yeah. So that just adds to the conspiracy theory.
Good old John Lennon.
Did you
think
find
he's still alive?
Of what?
Did you find his motive?
Well. So when the police arrested him, he was reading Catcher in the Rye, and he stated that he was going to cite the novel in his manifesto. And it was really just he had a personal resentment against John Lennon's lifestyle and his desire to emulate the main character Holden in Catcher in the Rye, which, by the way, I don't know if anyone read that book.
I have not.
It is.
I've heard mixed things.
It's he's the Holden character in Catcher in the Rye is just a whiny piece of shit.
Sounds like John Lennon.
But no, he doesn't have Holden doesn't have a rich lifestyle. He was a depressed 17-year-old who got recruited and got drafted in the army for World War II. And
do you think he went to Hawaii?
So
I don't know.
Mark Chapman didn't have any money.
Yeah.
Join this church.
Yes. So and the character in Catcher in the Rye is all about rebellion against the wealthy and teen angst. Really, teen angst and rebellion. So I guess this guy was like, how dare John Lennon have this really lavish lifestyle? I'm gonna
You've seen an interview with him?
against him.
With John Lennon?
No, Chapman.
No,
I've never actually seen an interview with Chapman.
He's talking about how he's looking at the gargoyles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That I guess was on John Lennon's apartment. He was or somewhere around there, and he was like saying they were just evil and
I agree.
telling him to do it and shit. But it's gargoyles are supposed to ward off evil.
Yes.
Yeah, but have you seen the 90s TV show?
Yeah, they're good in that, right? The movie?
I haven't seen it.
I was thinking of the Hunchback.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently Chapman wanted to also kill Paul McCartney. He didn't get to do it.
I would have been more upset about that. Yeah. I would have been more upset about Paul McCartney.
How would he get to Paul McCartney? He wasn't living in
Paul McCartney's already dead, bro.
Where was Paul McCartney? Well, no. He could have been, yeah.
Can't shoot a ghost. I've seen Harry Potter. You can't kill a ghost.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he was talking about, like, I looked at his information again because you were talking about the gargoyles and stuff.
Right,
and I was like, I bet he was saying that to try to get an insanity defense. And look at right here.
I don't think
his legal team intended to mount an insanity defense based on the testimony of mental health experts who say he was a delusional psychotic.
Yeah.
Well,
I could pick up on that.
Speaking of, what was he though? I don't know.
So it says he was cooperative with the prosecutor, who argued that his symptoms fell short of a schizophrenia diagnosis, which means he had some criteria, but he didn't meet all the actual like you need a certain percentage.
Have you seen Dahmer?
I've only seen the first episode. I do want to watch it.
Yeah, it's good. But he really good. They were trying to give him that he was insane because he was jerking off on the dead bodies and keeping
as he do
frozen penises in his refrigerator and severed heads.
We've all been there.
Yeah, he ate them
and cannibalized.
Nothing
and he's like, no, I'm perfectly sane, and I'm not. They're like, dude, like, we're trying to help you with this. He was like, no, I deserve, like, it doesn't make you feel bad for him or anything, which I liked.
Yeah,
but it was a good show. But yeah, he was pretty sick, but not insane.
What do you mean eating people? The line I hear all the time where he tries to get other people to eat human remains by cooking them.
I don't think that was.
You go look at them, and he looks at her and goes,
"You don't want to taste human."
Is that even in the show? That's in the trailer, but I don't remember that actually being in the show, and I don't remember ever.
He goes like, "Why are you a vegetarian?" That's all I remember. I hear that line because I'm on TikTok a lot.
That's what pops up.
Popular
but
sound.
I don't remember that actually being in the show.
No,
and I don't remember ever I watched a lot of like the true crime stuff. I used to read about serial killers all the time. I don't remember ever hearing about him trying to serve other people.
No, I actually when I have a forensic psych degree, which is profiling serial killers and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
And I knew nothing about him trying to feed other people too, so I wanted to watch the show.
No, but it is like pretty accurate.
Yeah, I was going to say I watched the first episode and it aligned pretty well from what I remember in the case study reading about him. He was a quite popular one, so I didn't write my thesis on him because I wasn't allowed to, because everyone had to pick a different person. So my thesis was on a serial killer from North Carolina called Donald Gaskins, who
Never heard of him.
Had a very narcissistic way about him because he claimed they found 6 dead bodies in his backyard, like buried in his backyard, and when they caught him, he was like, oh, I killed like 300 and something people, all hitchhikers. Oh, you don't know where I buried them. And I'm sitting there and as I'm like analyzing this, I'm like, he's fucking lying because he wants to be known as the most. It was his whole goal to be like a prolific serial killer.
You see the other one where it's just called The Tapes? They got like the Gacy tapes.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Did you watch the Gacy tapes?
I have not seen that.
You gotta watch that.
That one of my papers was also on John Wayne Gacy because my dad's side of the family has like movie and like producers and like all these like TV people, and they were going to write a create a show on John Wayne Gacy, so they were meeting him in the prison. So I had like letters and stuff like that I brought in when I did my presentation,
like from Gacy. Oh, that's so
true. Gacy,
where he says like, don't call me Mr. Gacy, that's the name of my father, and blah blah blah. And I was like showing all this stuff and showing all this evidence, and I was like, yeah. And so what John Wayne Gacy did is that he took these boys and he would while he was choking, while he had them pinned down, he took this 2x4 and pushed them against the throat. And a student stopped me because how I'm sounding now, I'm like, yeah, he took a little plank and everything, and they're like, why are you sounding so happy while telling this? And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not happy about this, because you really have to like consider the victims' families and everything like that. But like,
you don't have to.
I was making a presentation, and
you're excited that you're invested in the presentation.
And when I was like 19, I thought when I present and I have to be like engaging. So I have to be like really bubbly and everything like that. And I didn't realize that you should probably be like somber and just state the facts.
Put a couple jokes in there.
I would probably
clown,
I'd be more. Oh, he did Pogo the clown. Dude, he would dress up like a clown and try to kill people.
I'm familiar with John Wayne Gacy.
And so, like, here's the thing. So they find 26 dead young men and boys in his crawl space.
Yes.
Right. First one, he explains what happened. He's like, no, he came over. I don't know. He tried to make an advance on him or something. He didn't like it. And he attacked me. So I attacked him back and I killed him. I didn't know what to do. I stored him in the crawl space. Gacy's like somebody who like is pretty like a respected person within the community.
He was like a comptroller or something like that. He had a political. He had a political job.
Like he's like met the
Isn't that what Dennis was trying to be in Always Sunny?
That's who they model Dennis's character off of.
Yeah, I think so.
And then there's like so they find that, and then he's got the second body, similar story, and then they find 26 bodies in his crawl space. They find a body in his kitchen and one in his garage, and then 5 other ones were thrown into the river. But like, so he had a believable excuse for the first one because you wouldn't want people to know, because back then you wouldn't want somebody high up and respected to be like, oh, this guy's gay.
Yeah.
So it was believable.
It was a very bad
but
stigma
they find all the other bodies, and it's like, I swear to God, these teenage boys are just coming over to my house and attacking me. Like, it's like after
myself against 26,
and then he was like,
teenagers.
Yeah, he admits to it, and then later on to this day, or he's executed now, but he's like he was still like, I don't know how he's still like, I don't know how those bodies got there.
Could have been Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney was John Wayne Gacy.
Paul McCartney took John Wayne Gacy's
They replaced
place.
John Wayne Gacy with Paul McCartney and killed Paul McCartney.
Wait.
And that's why they had to replace.
Gacy had to play the guitar and the drums.
Wait. They were gonna kill Gacy.
They didn't swap them.
No.
Okay.
Here's what happened.
Okay.
John Wayne Gacy. They're like, we're not gonna kill you, John Wayne Gacy.
This the real Paul, or is this the clone, the look-alike?
Real Paul.
Yeah, okay.
This is real Paul.
So they killed Paul in the 60s.
Gacy would have been in the mid-70s.
Okay.
They replaced Paul back then. They have the real Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Gacy comes out. They're gonna kill John Wayne Gacy, and they say, John Wayne Gacy, we're not gonna kill you. They put the real Paul McCartney, whom they have replaced already,
Okay.
in the chair.
I'm not following this at all, but okay.
And kill Paul McCartney instead of John Wayne Gacy, and John Wayne Gacy is still alive.
How'd they kill Paul McCartney if Paul McCartney died in the 60s?
No, he didn't die. They faked his death and then replaced him.
Oh, and then they killed the real.
And then they killed him again, like.
And then Gacy got plastic surgery to look like just someone else.
Yeah, he actually works at Red Robin now.
He was at Red Robin.
Yeah.
They don't let him serve. He's out back. Dishwasher.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dishwasher.
Yeah, Gacy's lawyer too in that, he like had no idea.
Yeah.
And Gacy was like hammered and fucking just told him everything and passed out in his office. And he was like, I can't legally say anything. He was like so disgusted by it. He was like, I went home and felt like I was trying to wash the filth off of me for like supporting this guy, like being his lawyer.
That's such a tough
but
job.
he has to like
you have to just like try to get your client to.
Well, I don't think obviously he had no idea, because like you wouldn't like be somebody's lawyer for like years being like,
so this was this wasn't like a public defender that was given to him. This was like his lawyer.
So why are
we talking about this?
So this 15-year-old boy,
killer episode.
It's Halloween.
Slash John Lennon.
It's Halloween.
That's next week.
Yeah.
Slash conspiracy theories.
Every podcast this month is Halloween month.
This whole entire.
So we're gonna talk spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Except for the last one.
Yeah. So anyway, how we got caught is this kid came over, looking for a job.
Right.
Never went back to his grocery store. So he had given his jacket to this other girl who was working front end because it was cold. And then when he went to go ask Gacy about a job for his like painting, roofing, and interior decorating, whatever his company was called. He took his jacket back. And she had put like a what was it she had in his pocket? The other boy's pocket. The girl who borrowed her coat. It was like a receipt for something.
Yeah.
And so they found. So when they went to Gacy's house, because that was like where he was last headed, they found that receipt that used to be in his jacket, but it belonged to the girl. So they were like, okay, so he's been in the house. And then they were like trailing Gacy, like just following him forever. And eventually they just like smelt a dead body when they went to go back to his house. But he had his lawyer. He was like, I don't know why. Can you call up the whatever sheriff department and ask him why they're trailing me? So his lawyer is like, hey, why are you following this guy around? He's a good guy. You know, what's the problem? And they were like, we're investigating him for like a disappearance, like missing person.
Yeah.
And then even then the lawyer's like, what? And then it came out like more like it happened. He just confessed to everything. The lawyer's like, the fuck? Anyway.
And then,
I watched. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, and then he's another guy who, when you go to trial,
James, you got any good serial killer?
I've got something else I want to talk about, but we can
let's just finish our serial killer.
Please.
When he went to trial, he tried to do another person. They always try to do the insanity defense. And he had doctors that basically said that he was not only a paranoid schizophrenic, but he had multiple personalities, and it wasn't it wasn't John Wayne Gacy doing it. It was another personality. So like the lawyer tried to do like a Jekyll Mr. Hyde type of like angle, but then like the prosecution was like, everything he did was premeditated, because he did have
they had him on camera.
He had like this method of like bringing these young guys to like his office. I'm pretty sure it was his office, his political office, and then like doing drugs and drinking with them, and then slowly gaining their trust. So they go over to his house, and then he like. Or no, like while they're drunk, he like handcuffs them. He handcuffs them as like, he's like, I will show you like a magic trick or something like that. And he's like, haha, you're kidnapped. Like that's just basically he had like this whole entire, everything was premeditated. And so they're like, there's no way that can be like an alternate personality.
There's even like one of the tapes with him. He's like, yeah, I like power. I like to be in power. Yeah,
that's basically
it's fucking crazy.
Those guys who like those people who are like that because they're female serial killers. They like that's what they want.
Also, it's like he could get away with it so easily too, because he was basically just going to. Oh, and this is pretty dark too. This is sad, James. You would like this.
Very exciting. Sad you would like this.
Yeah, no, because a lot of the people he killed to this day, some of them aren't identified, because a lot of them were like young. Yeah, like young. He would go to where all like, basically young gay men would be looking for like survival sex. And he would just pick them up because no one's ever going to miss them because their family
because their family kicked them out because they were gay. Yeah.
And to this day, those people are just gone. Isn't that awful?
Yeah, I think they've only they've only identified like 7, I think. And there was like 33 that he killed. Like 26.
There's more than that.
There was 26 in his like house, but then there was like, and then I think they like said
it was 33
more, and like, but they identified like very few in the grand scheme. It's like 33 of them.
Well, recently though, they started digging through that. Remains, so there are a lot more people, and some of them have been claimed.
You have the mitochondrial DNA that will actually survive on bones.
Reconstructing like what their facial structure would look like and stuff like that. Anyway, so
James,
I can't wait to do an edit of this where you guys talk about serial killers and it just slowly zooms in on my face. Well, just me looking sad and dejected.
Why don't you don't like serial killers?
You don't like talking about serial killers?
No, it's great.
Like I said, I used to be like super into it. Obviously, it was
anyway, we're gonna talk about something else now.
No, I don't know.
We're gonna have a game.
I borrowed a game from a book from one of my friends, the Encyclopedia of Serial Killers.
Yeah,
we're playing a game now.
You ever read that, James?
We're playing a game.
What game are we
This
playing?
is a competition.
A serial killer game?
Nope.
I want to play a game.
So I was watching some videos on YouTube, the internet's.
Violent videos.
Nope. And I was thinking about old videos.
Sexual nature. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
Good, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watching
My
old
mind's
videos,
in a different place.
I'm aware. That I remember being really big, like when I was in middle school. So probably when you guys were like 30, 45.
Thanks.
So these are all about 10, 15 years ago was when these were big.
Okay.
From what I remember.
10 or 15 years.
So we would. So 10
you guys would have
years.
been like
so 10 years ago,
15-ish,
we've been like
16.
we've been like 19.
Okay. I remember all these. Are these YouTube videos?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to know them all.
Okay. Let's see.
So the game is, I'm going to give you the name of the video. Again, competition, so you guys are competing.
Oh, we're competing. Okay.
You're competing.
Okay.
You have to guess the number of views. Whoever gets closer.
What? Oh my God.
Whoever gets closer wins.
Oh my God.
I thought it was going to have to
without
be like...
are we doing Price is Right rules? So without going over?
No.
Okay. It's just
so if the answer was 100 million and Jordan said 105 and you said like 90, Jordan would win.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you can also get a bonus point if you tell me how many comments.
Oh my God, this is just so vague.
I thought it was going to be like more like you say the title of a viral video from way back, and then we would have to do like the main quote from it, like the thing that everybody said, which would be easier.
A lot of these are songs.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see. Let's see what
Number
we get.
1. The Gummy Bear song.
I'm a gummy bear. How's that even go?
It was basically that for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a fucking gross looking video too.
87 million.
I'm gonna go with 150 million.
Jordan wins, but you guys are way off.
It's got a billion, doesn't it?
Do you guys want to do? You have to give me the comments.
3,600.
1,200,000.
So the Gummy Bear song has 2.9 billion views.
Oh my God.
And the comments were turned off, so none of you get votes.
That's a trick question.
Fuck.
Okay, so
J next to that one because it was Jordan.
All right, I got a strategy now. I think I know where this is going.
Okay.
What does the fox say? Ring ding 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 ding.
168 million.
68, no, more than that. I'm gonna go with 300 million.
Jordan wins again. How many comments? The comments are not turned off.
Well, how many views do they have?
I'm not telling you.
Well, no, because we have
to guess the comments next.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because there's usually a more.
I know. That's why I'm not doing that.
12,000.
I'm gonna go with 1 million.
Million comments.
All right. What does the fox say? 1 billion views.
Oh my
fucking
God.
damn it! I didn't know you can get to 1 billion.
So you
That's
can get
the thing is like you have
more.
to all these videos when they came out. They all have an insane amount of views.
Yeah, that's true. They came out so long
I'm
ago.
gonna give it to you, Jordan, because you said 1 million comments and it's 990,000.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
So
more than
you
the
get,
12,000 I said. Yeah. Didn't think it
Gangnam
was
Style.
a fucking billion. Oh, that was like the first one that.
1.1 billion. Whoopnum Gangnam Style.
2.6 billion.
2.6 billion. That goes to Ashley.
Ooh.
How many comments?
1
million.
900,000.
900,000.
What did you say, Jordan?
Million.
What did you say, Ashley?
900,000.
So Jordan gets a bonus point on that one.
Shit.
So Gangnam Style has 4.5 billion views.
I think it was the first YouTube video to reach 1 billion views.
That wouldn't surprise me.
So
and
that's why I said
5.3
I thought
million
that was
comments.
Justin Bieber.
Is that was the Justin Bieber song?
I thought it
How
was.
many comments was that?
5.3 million.
Damn. I've just never realized I had that many, like this many views and this many like comments.
All right.
I don't watch very viral YouTube videos.
Well, not anymore.
Dumb Ways to Die.
Never heard of it.
It's a song that was made for like railway safety. Dumb ways to die.
Never seen it.
It's pretty fun. I'll send it to you.
2 billion.
Ashley?
68 million.
68 million.
I don't know if he's doing like. I guess they all should be in the billion, shouldn't they?
Well, I've never seen this one, so
Are you guys
I'm gonna
gonna-
go with. Can I change my answer?
You get one more chance.
I'm gonna go with 850 million.
Are you sticking with whatever you said that I've already forgotten?
65 million.
Yeah, I said 65.
Are you
Or
sticking
something
with
like
that?
60, like 8 or something like that. Yeah.
Ashley, you are closer with 245 million views. Shouldn't have told you that before I asked how many comments there are, but how many comments are there?
25,000.
Jordan is staring off into space.
It's definitely way more than that. It's definitely way more than 25,000. So go for it.
45,000.
Jordan, you get it. 185,000.
That's not that bad. Yeah, that's not bad.
The Force Awakens teaser trailer.
Oh shit, that's having a good amount, doesn't it?
The Force Awakens teaser trailer.
Yes.
The first thing we saw about The Force Awakens.
Yeah. So
Did you ever see that video where this guy like gets all like emotional about it and starts jerking off into an R2D2?
I didn't see that, but I saw somebody like start crying.
So The Force Awakens was the first of the new trilogy, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that was like the first reintroduction of Star Wars.
That was a beautiful
It
moment.
was a big deal.
That went
too.
bad.
Well, yeah.
It's a good trailer.
It is, and I got a little emotional when I watched it.
When the music swelled, it was like,
And when I watched
and
the
the Millennium
first movie.
Falcon was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I was
fucking
like,
flying around.
it really got me a little bit excited there.
Yeah,
286 million.
that excitement and punched it down. 286 million.
Mm-hmm.
1.1 billion.
All right, how many comments?
Well, who got it?
Well, he's explained that 3 times. You can't do that because then we're gonna base
It was
that.
Ashley got it.
I was about to say
I can't give the number, but I can say.
I was about to say he says
Oh,
who's
okay.
got
I've
it,
done a
but he
different
won't
thing
tell us.
every single time.
Okay. So this one was like people were like super into this one.
500,000.
Okay.
1.2 million.
All right, that one's going to Jordan.
It's got more comments than views.
That's right. No. I said 286
No,
million.
I was just saying.
So it has 25 million views,
I'll forget about it.
which is low,
That's low.
and 23,000 comments.
Okay.
Civil War trailer.
How many of these are
Spider-Man.
there? Civil
There's one more after this.
Silver
Civil War trailer
Civil
too.
War.
Spider-Man.
That's Captain America technically.
Yeah, why is
It's
Spider-Man?
because it's the first introduction of Spider-Man into the MCU.
Why is Spider-Man in a Captain America movie?
Because it was the first time they were bringing that character into the MCU.
He was in other ones, right?
Not in the MCU.
What the fuck is the MCU?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, when did that start?
Iron Man 2008.
That's the start of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
48 million.
48
8
million.
million. That's
I'm going low
hardly
here. I'm
any.
going
Yeah,
low
that's
here.
really low. I'm gonna go with 150 million.
Shit, I have to do math.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna dash this closer.
It's got a
Comments. These are all from the official, like, Marvel or Sony or whatever.
78,000.
78,000?
23,000.
Jordan, you get the bonus point.
Ooh, okay.
I'm just winning with these bonus points.
I know, damn.
87 million views.
Okay. Nice.
128,000 comments.
Okay.
He-Man.
He-Man?
So
Is
this
it-
Is it the song?
Yeah,
He-Man,
is it the song?
With the like?
It's the one where it starts with
This
the.
is-
It's the. Walk in the morning and
Oh.
step outside.
Okay, so
yeah.
that used to have like a thing where it was in high school.
Yeah.
It was like the 10-hour version of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there were a bunch of kids trying to listen to 10 hours of that all day long. So that
Great video.
It's a good video.
I could just bust out singing that at work, and I can almost guarantee a couple people are going
Most
to start
people
singing along.
would know what this is, I think.
So The actual song's good. I don't know what this remake's kind of weird.
I heard the actual song not that long ago.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
a good song.
He-Man's a real song?
Yeah. Yes. No, it's a
blew my mind.
It's a good song. And then the other one's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Which is why I like it.
It's great.
It's still a good song. And I get real high now. Scream at the top of my lungs.
What's going on?
That's gotta have at least 850 million views.
850?
150. Like 150 million.
150 views.
Ashley gets the point.
What?
Okay.
You're telling me. Well, I guess it's like the thing with that is like
there were a lot of different versions of it.
Well, there are, and also you didn't have to watch that video to have that shoved in your face.
Right.
That's true. You
know what I
have
mean?
to. You just
It
see
just
from
it would
other
just
people.
I mean,
108,000.
Oh, comments?
Mm-hmm.
108,000.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
disgusting.
Disgusting.
I thought
150.
I thought when you asked if you're like 108,000, you're gonna go 108,001.
I was gonna like.
I was thinking he was gonna do that.
I was gonna
right.
do like a $10,000 or 10,000 view thing different than you, and then I was like, I'm not gonna beat that guy.
Oh, do you get the
Jordan
bonus
got
point?
the
Jordan got the bonus point again.
How many points?
340,000.
Oh,
340,000.
It really seems like Jordan won.
All right, let's go down the list.
I feel like Jordan really won by a landslide there.
All right, I'm going to say the thing. I'm going to go down the list. Hold up a finger when I say your name.
Okay.
And then, like, keep going. Jordan, you don't look ready to hold up your fingers.
Yeah, come on. You got to get him out. You got to get him out.
I thought you were going to put your fingers up.
All right, Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan. Ashley.
Oh, yay, I got one.
Jordan. Ashley. Jordan. Ashley. Jordan. Ashley. Jordan. Ashley. Jordan. What are you at, Jordan?
I'm at 8.
6.
So I won.
You won with the bonus points.
Hell yeah.
I went Ashley, Jordan, Ashley, Jordan, Ashley, Jordan. I got the views, but you get the comments, right?
So Jordan won. Congratulations. A round of applause for Jordan.
I applaud myself.
Don't clap for yourself.
I always do. It's like when I post something on Facebook, I always like it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
if you post something on Reddit, it automatically upvotes it.
Such a boomer move right there. Like,
No, that actually did that the first time I made a Facebook. And then this other kid was like, yeah, just so you know, if you like something on your own post, that's just like you being super like vain or whatever. Like, just like he's like, it makes you look like a narcissist. I was like, but I liked the video I put up.
Yeah,
like I didn't. It wasn't like like I can see if you were like putting pictures that you drew or something up and then liking like, your own post.
To posted a selfie,
which is something I would do. Yeah.
Yeah. My cousin, he streams, and I follow his streaming page on Facebook, and I always see him post the thing on like as the page, and then immediately the first comment under is his regular Facebook page commenting about how great it is.
Wow, that's really cringy. No, you should put a stop to that.
No.
Yeah, no,
I'm not gonna do that.
Who is this? Is this a relative?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
cousin.
You gotta put a stop to that.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to out you.
You gotta put it. That's.
I don't think he's ever gonna listen to this.
I don't know.
This be the one episode he listens to, and he will listen all the way into the end.
People have been discovering the podcast at work.
There's a good amount of people who have discovered the podcast at work.
I feel like it might raise some questions. Because I'm a very different person at work than I am on this podcast.
Yes, everyone who works with us, hello, how's it going? I love like people walk up to, like I said, there's different coworkers who walk up to me being like, hey, I heard you on the podcast, and like all of the blood leaves my face, and I go, which episode? Yeah, which episode? Please tell me you listened to the episode.
I don't even remember like half the shit I say on this thing.
Like I don't care. Anybody can listen to it. I wouldn't put it up if I didn't want people. I would just
deny it. Like I'd be like, that's not even me. Like I go
totally
full serial killer.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
What are you talking about? But it has your name on the thing.
I've had people say I have a good podcast voice. I disagree with them.
No,
but
I think you do.
They kind of like look at me and they're like, you have a good podcast voice. You know, when you say your stories, and I'm like, oh god.
My favorite
Which one?
thing
The one about the cum jar?
Is when people are like super religious and like sheltered people.
Yes.
In that way. Are talking about it, I'm like, I know I talked about guzzling cum on that episode.
Yeah, there would be people who like don't even like hearing curse words, and they're like, I listened to your podcast, and I'm like, oh god.
And it's so weird because they'll be like, I really liked it. I was like I don't think you did.
No, I think they're just being polite.
It's like, I don't care if you don't like it. Like, it's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to listen to it.
This is not everyone's cup of tea to listen to.
There's that one person in
two. I don't even listen to 2 to 3.
I don't even listen to this.
2 to 3 random people like just
on a couch
talk shit like for an hour.
Talk about serial killers.
Like we talk about the most random stuff. There's no structure. We don't really do research, even though I'm the head of research in this.
Well,
this
I think it's
company, but
we
like,
got some structure, and we got some sort of a game.
Yeah. I like
the
games.
Yeah.
They're
what are you gonna wear for Halloween?
Yeah, next week's podcast episode is Halloween.
My costume gets here tomorrow.
Oh, see, I was like thinking about like how I could do like a Pinhead costume because a new Hellraiser movie came out, which is very good. But yeah, I was like, I don't know how I could string that together. I'm gonna have to get like how would you get
sewing
the
needles and poke them in?
No, I could get the nails and have them, but like
I got super glue. You need me to super glue some nails to your face.
It's more of like, how am I gonna make it look like my flesh is just wrapped around like my body with like sewn back in through, you know. I suppose I could get like a black a latex kind of trench coat thing. I don't know.
Possibly.
I don't know what I'll be for Halloween. I'm still thinking.
Should I go to Target and buy like
do they got costumes?
The largest child's Batman costume I can find for like $20 and just keep that just in case?
I want to be a sexy nurse.
Spirit Halloween. What type of sexy nurse? There's like 7 different types.
Just whatever one's the sluttiest. Yeah.
Okay, whichever one's the
sluttiest. We might need to clothespin back. We might need to clothespin back the chest.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
What are you talking about?
I live right next to the Spirit Halloween.
I don't think you're gonna fill it out.
I'm gonna stuff.
I don't think it's gonna look good.
Yes. I have.
I'm gonna stuff.
So I have bras in which they are like flat, but then they have the little puffs, so you don't have to.
Right.
I can give you a stuffing bra, so you don't.
He'll just use socks.
No, I'll just get one of those like prosthetics.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
you gonna get one of those in a week?
I don't know. See, if I was in New York, definitely could.
Yeah.
Because like they got like whole stores there, all for like drag queens.
Yeah,
you can
I saw one, and then we were trying to go back there. We were gonna buy these like these boob breast plants, but we couldn't find it.
No.
We snuck out at night.
Yeah.
On a school trip, and we're like,
what's
we're
the
going
statute
to get the boobs. It was one of the Germans.
Limitation.
Yeah. That's what my friend Izzy from Germany sounds like. She's like, we're getting the boobs, and then coming back. I was like, but we never found it. No. But it all started because there was one of my other friends.
Do you think it was because you were a bunch of dumb kids and didn't know how directions worked?
Oh, well, I think we just got distracted by stuff. I don't know.
Shiny.
I don't think we really remember where it was because I never saw it. It's just one of my friends came up and he was like
a legend.
He was like, dude, there's like a shop in there that's just selling all this like drag stuff, and there's like a chest in there with like boobs on it. And I was like, what? I was like, I gotta see this. And then we went out to go find it, we never did. I don't remember what we did that night. It was fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. I never went on a school trip to New York.
It was a good time.
I went on one to Quebec. Twice.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like as much fun.
I went to college in New York.
Did they have a boob store?
No.
With drag stuff in it?
They definitely did have an adult store that we were not allowed in.
Oh, why? How old were you?
We were 15.
Oh, you can go into a sex shop if you're 15.
No, you
really?
Can't. So
it's 18?
I was in London. And
might be 16 in Canada.
And there's a little section in London called like Soho, and it's a little red light district. And I went into a sex shop, and they were going around, and if you looked young, they wanted to check your ID. And I was 17, and I was fucking avoiding them, just to see what it was like, just to look at a sex shop.
You got to.
I don't think it would be much of an issue if you like went in as a 15-year-old and you're just sort of standing there like looking at stuff. I think the issue is when like 5 13-year-olds walk in and they just won't shut the like they're giggling and like doing stupid shit and like picking up the dildos and like fighting each other with them. Yeah. So like, I think that's the issue.
Do you guys want to go to Dirty Dave's sometime?
No.
Yes.
It's great. The guy behind the counter is drunk.
Are we gonna record a podcast in like the glory hall room?
In the sex shop? Yeah. We could. There's like 3 or 4 stories of just an endless like labyrinth of just body parts.
There's that many floors.
I think that we should each have like $100 budget, and we should see who can get by the craziest thing.
Yes, I'm down.
And Jordan's gonna fund it.
No, you wouldn't be able to get anything that crazy for 100.
Do we have to go more?
Huh?
Like, do we have to like have a higher budget to get crazy stuff?
Well, the crazy stuff is like the human cage, and that was expensive.
I can find something crazy. Also, you know, there's other ways to pay.
Yeah,
I don't think the drunk guy behind the counter would.
We never know.
Okay, I mean,
but he was only there one time. But yeah, they got a
Jordan's
crazy
in there
stuff
8 times a week. You know.
No, I've been in there twice. I went in there once because people just go in there and look around.
Right, and they charge you $1, right?
They charge you $1 now. They didn't used to.
Right.
Because another guy who was frequenting that place.
Right.
When I told him about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and so they charge you $1 just if you're looking.
Right.
Little honor system thing. And then, that's it, pretty much it.
So what if you go in to buy something, but then they don't have it? Do you have to pay the $1?
That's actually what I was wondering. Yeah. I don't think you do.
Because you're going there with the intent to buy.
Right, but that's usually when you go in and you're like, hey, I just need the bottom part. And that's it. And then the guy will be like, oh, yep, top shelf here. Here's your legs.
But if you go in and you're like, I'm looking for a butt plug in this size, and they're out of butt plugs in that size, like...
You're
like there's none on the shelf.
Wait, you're looking for a butt plug in a specific size?
And you went there to buy.
Yeah.
Okay, and they did not have the butt plug of your size.
Like, what size were you thinking?
Yeah,
what size am I thinking?
Yeah, what size were you thinking?
I don't know how they do the denominations. Like, I don't know how they measure it.
Because you're just specifically talking about... Oh, I don't want to really get into it.
Because there's depth and then there's girth.
Okay, they don't have your size. Okay, let's just start with something easier.
There's plugs, and then there's specifically anal dildos.
No, I don't want a dildo on a plug. I know what a plug is.
No, okay, let's just... Okay, no, forget about that. Let's just say you were going there for anal beads.
So you guys get to talk
about
it.
And that's going to be the one thing, okay? Yeah, that's where we draw the line.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Murdering innocent
disgusting,
people
James.
that causes everlasting trauma
and
and damage for the
innocent.
families.
Yes.
You do not know they were innocent.
Butt plugs for your own personal use?
Those children could have been child molesters themselves.
No, they weren't.
You don't know
what
that.
Children?
I mean, true. That were murdered by serial killers.
They could have been tax fraud.
Tax fraud. My God! All right.
You don't know they're innocent.
I'm canceling you, James.
Oh boy.
Okay.
That is not the worst thing I've said on this.
So we're going in for anal beads, right?
Yeah.
That's you're talking about anal. You go in for anal.
I think you would have to go in and be like, "Hey, I'm actually looking for something. I'm not, just being."
What if you walk in with purpose, though? Like you walk in, like you go to a grocery store and it's like, I need to buy dog food, and you just go straight to the dog food. Like I don't. Would they?
I mean, we'd have to go, and you said you didn't want to go. We can find out.
I'll go if you pay. I have
$3 bills still in my purse.
I got
go and look around.
A bunch of dollar bills here.
Yeah, like come on.
Let's go right now.
I'll be like,
they probably close at 11. That would take too long.
It's called Dave. Oh, you know what it is.
Yeah, I used to live right next to it.
Yeah, it's I'll
And I never went.
Let me see what I got.
Jordan's getting on his wallet.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got $7 in here.
Damn.
I'll be rich. I'll throw the $7 in there, and I'll be like, we're gonna be here for 5 hours.
I'm gonna come in behind you with my computer and all the microphones and stuff.
Yeah, we'll just set this right up.
We're gonna need to use your glory hole.
We'll set this up in the BDSM room. They got different themed rooms.
Oh, guys, we have to go right now. It closes in 8 minutes.
I don't think we're gonna make it.
3 hour drive, 2 hour drive.
It's an hour. It's an hour and 15 minutes.
It's not that far.
We can do that.
Why are they closing early on a Friday night?
I don't know.
Seems like the worst possible thing they could do.
Oh, dude, the police are always there too.
They always
Shocking.
close at 9. That's
always?
so weird. Yeah, like
what about on Sundays?
they're closed on
I
Sundays.
don't like
That's
that.
That's God's
What?
day. That is God's day, my friend.
There
How
is no
dare.
God at Dirty Dave's. Dirty Dave's knows no God. It's a sinful, sick place.
It knows a god, just not that one.
See, it's like the thing is, like, you could be in there, and because I was talking with these other people back when I used to live there, and he said he was in there with his friend, and a guy came up to him. I think I told you this.
Maybe.
Guy came up to him and was like, "You guys know where there's any sex parties going on?"
Oh,
And they were like,
yeah.
"What?" And he was like, "When I was in Boston, I used to be able to find sex parties all over the place."
Not gonna happen.
And
up
the
here.
guy like grabbed his friend and was like, "We gotta get out of here. Like, we gotta get out of here right now."
Why?
Because some guy was
Tag
trying
along.
trying to find a sex party.
If somebody
I'm saying, like, there's people like me who go in there and like friends or whatever.
know where
and-
the sex
and-
party is.
No. See, here's what I'm trying to say
Parties
is
are gross, man. They're never.
Yeah, that's
they have a
pretty
good
awesome.
Good buffet though. Yeah.
good buffet. Yeah. No. So like a lot of people go in there. The people pay in the dollars. They're in there. They're people like me. They just want to see some weird stuff. Want to just be like, oh wow, that's interesting.
Look at that butt plug.
You know? Yeah. Oh, cool. Wish I owned that. Oh wow. You
Wish
know,
I had one in my size.
that's yeah, exactly. So you would be like that guy. And then there are people who go in there and they are looking for like sex.
yes.
They're in the sex shop.
Yeah.
Looking for other people to have sex with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once in a while you get your shady fuckers in there.
Yeah.
You get the sex positive people in there.
positive people.
So
Yes.
so it's
I'm
kind
gonna
of
give you a
shady.
T-shirt that's just a sex positive on it.
Fucking love that. We'll get it
That's
specialty
probably
ordered.
yeah, you probably don't
can
even
get
need to like
you can
custom make
get-
that.
Oh,
I
maybe
will.
you can. Yeah, custom make it.
I'll
I
get a
know.
leather jacket that says
I
sex
know.
positive
I know
on
a
the
good website that you can custom order T-shirts and sweatshirts and
All right.
everything.
I do.
Jordan's dying.
I did have COVID, and probably still. I mean, I'll still test positive, but I don't feel sick.
It's been a week.
It's been a week though. That's
10 days.
Yeah, the CDC says
Yeah.
is only 5.
But I
the
still
government
get
will
like
never lie
that.
to
I'll
us.
still be coughing, but not like it's not like that. Like the hurt.
Dude,
Like dry.
I
It's
had
just
COVID
like
like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Still a bit of a cough.
yeah, like you still get like the mucus coming up.
Yeah, it fucks with you.
Like it's your body's just still trying to flush itself out. Like yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I wasn't worried about it. I had hung out with a friend. Like, when I heard that you got COVID, it was like literally the same day as another one of my friends got tested positive for COVID. And I saw her like 2 days before then. I was like, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
But then also, I worked with James and we were closer than we are on this couch. We were standing right next to each other and we were working. And the next day, you were at work for like an hour or something.
Nope.
And then you went home. And then you're like, don't worry, Ashley, I tested negative for COVID. And I was like, okay, cool.
true.
And then the day after that, he was like, Ashley, I tested positive for COVID. And I was like, I was standing right fucking next to
Here's
you.
what actually
and I
happened.
never got COVID. Well, I never tested positive.
I was at work and with the whole day I was totally fine. And like the last half hour, probably my throat started to get a little scratchy.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
And
what
I was like,
happened?
oh, I
got
must be
the-
like a little dehydrated or something. And then it started to get to the point where I was starting to get concerned where I might have to go somewhere because I might have trouble breathing. Like I felt
all of a sudden
my
you got,
throat
you got,
like closing in
strep
on
or
itself.
something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, this might be an issue. So I went home and I tested myself and it came out negative. And I was like, okay, all right, so I don't have that. That's good. And then I woke up and I was like, it's one of those things where you feel sick, but it's like not enough to call out of work.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
So you go into work and then like 2 or 3 hours in, I started to get a little woozy. And then I like 4 hours in, I was like, I gotta go. Like we're up on scaffolding. I cannot pass out up here. I have to go home. So I went home and I tested myself again and I tested positive. It's like, oh, hey, by the way.
It's like, God damn, James.
And then I stayed home for like a week.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
That was fun. Jordan's gonna go. Roll the credits.
Spin podcast.
That was a decent podcast. I like the serial killer part a lot.
I'm gonna cut that
that's
all out.
fun. You fucker, don't do that.